say you don't hate blacks, what do you feel about them and what do you want done with them?
When time comes, God will send them back to their homeland, Africa. I have nothing against them.
Why will God send them to Africa?
Because all the races will go back to their homeland.
Well, where do whites go? This used to belong to...
Whites stay here, New Jerusalem. America.
Excuse me, whites stay in New Jersey?
New Jerusalem. The United States, New Jerusalem.
Okay, but the Native Americans, which we used to call Indians, they were here first. We have to get out.
No.
No,
So when are you leaving?
I'm not leaving. Wait, listen.
Okay, I'll listen.
In the Bible, it says in Genesis 2, in the chapter of 2, in Genesis, it says that be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue it. Subdue it is to rule over, and he was talking to us Israelites, the Adamites, from Adam.
What
He was talking to Adam.
Okay, well,
We're from Adam.
What has that? Wait a sec. What has that got to do with the fact that if we're returning to where we're from, I gotta tell you that if you go back far enough in your family, you're not from the United States of America. Okay, you're probably.
I don't care, but white Christian America.
He said everybody's got to go back.
It's a promised land. God gave it to us.
Okay, so, God gave it.
That's how it goes.
Excuse me.
If you don't like it, then...
Excuse me, wait, God gave the United States of America to us?
It's a promised land.
Wait, is this in the Bible? The Bible was written before 1776.
Yeah.
Yes, and it does tell the future.
So how did God know that there was no United States of America? How could God have given, how in the Bible could it say that God...
God prophesies future in the Bible.
Go ahead.
Well, for one, I am a Baptist child, and for one, who do y'all think y'all coming to this state and just stands up saying stuff about our white people here? Us black people were the first people here, cause I'm Indian, and I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Y'all saying y'all gonna kill somebody? I dare y'all come and touch some of them, cause all of us is one color. Cause when the lights go off, all of us are black.
God bless you.
I just think it's crazy how in the beginning when that girl was talking, you kept on hearing people in the audience want to start clapping.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when this clip is from. It looks very old because Jerry looks much younger, and he doesn't even do the show anymore. But look, man, like I know that there's people out there that have some wild opinions on like America and other countries and where people belong. But the story of like human history is like a story of conquest. Everywhere you go, there's been some sort of bloodshed and people have taken over. I would never sit there and say, God gave me this land, because the way that the land was acquired was through bloodshed. And before the whites got to America, the native Indians were killing each other as well. It happened everywhere. Everywhere you go, some set of people had moved in and destroyed the previous civilization. It belongs to the people that take it over at the time. Yes, obviously, if you conquer a land, it becomes yours. But her talking points don't really make any sense, because if they're saying to send us back to Africa, she would have to leave as well, regardless of the conquest.
They're all obviously quite young, and you can see that they're all trying to talk from a place of religion. However, I think what you can see there is what they've been fed by their parents.
Yeah, they are just children. They're just going to be repeating talking points they've heard from their elders. I would like to see the elders actually speaking. I don't know how old that clip is or where exactly it's from, but it's not something that we see anymore today.
No.
We don't see people talking like this. Granted, I'm sure there's people out there that do talk like this. They wouldn't dare do it on television, though, I'll tell you that much. I've heard this talking point from loads of people. It's not just Americans. It's not just people in the UK. Although we hear it over here, you know, go back to your country. Although over here, it's not so much them saying it to black people. They say it to like Romanians and Polish.
Yeah. They say it to like anyone who's not English, basically.
Anyone that's Eastern European. But again, that's a small number of people. I've actually heard this coming out of someone's mouth. I was on a boat once, and I think when a resolution couldn't be met, the girl started shouting, "Go back to your country, go back to," and the girl was Polish that she was shouting at. I hear it directed at Eastern Europeans a lot. I don't hear it directed at black people as much. But anywhere that you go in the world, you will hear that.
Yeah.
I know I've got friends in New Zealand who tell me the same thing, that they don't like the fact that the Chinese are over there. We've got people over here don't like Eastern Europeans over here. People in America saying crazy shit. People over in Africa don't like the fact that the white South Africans are there. Everywhere you go, there are people saying this stuff. So don't let that video make you think that it's localized to America. Although those views were probably views that were more strongly held back then. I think people have moved past that point.
Yeah.
And we're all more accepting now. I tried to look at the planet like, I mean, we're all here together. Ideally, it would be nice if we all got along. Obviously, that's not going to happen. I don't think there's ever going to be a time in human history unless...
There will never be world peace, ever.
The only way that we will achieve world peace is if we are attacked by an extraterrestrial life form.
I don't think so, because we react daily to the crazies that exist in this world. It's impossible to get to that stage when there's so many crazies that walk amongst us on this earth. And men and women are just constantly against each other with like feminism and things like that. And it's just, everyone is just always against everyone.
I think that, I don't think you'll obviously turn everyone. I think that if we were attacked by something that wasn't from Earth, I think people are more likely to unite to protect their home, because at that point, borders no longer exist. The fact that you're from over there, I'm over here, doesn't really matter anymore, because we're on Earth together and something's coming here to destroy our home. Because at that point, it's our home.
Yeah, but I think that when this happens, the human race kind of just goes into survival mode and everyone just fights to survive for themselves. So then people just...
I think that would probably happen after like the initial chaos is over. Like we'll fall back into our tribes and, oh, I want that food, so I'm going to kill you for it.
Yeah.
I know you don't watch anime, but there's a show called Naruto.
Yeah.
Your mum got me the monopoly for it.
Yeah.
And in Naruto, spoilers by the way, I'm going to spoiler the end of Naruto.
I was going to go and watch that as well.
Yeah, I hate you. Ain't going to watch it. In Naruto, from the very beginning, there's like conflicts, there's wars everywhere. All the ninjas from different tribes and clans are fighting each other. And it culminates with this ninja called Uchiha Madara, who basically did not believe that it was possible for world peace to be obtained. So his idea was to use his ability. He had an ability in his eye that could put people into like what they call a genjutsu in the show, but it's like, basically it's like hypnosis. What his idea was to project it onto the moon, to project it down onto Earth. So everybody would go into a hypnosis, so they'd all be in a sleep state, and the sleep state would be their best reality. That's the only way that he could see world peace. Obviously, the heroes didn't think that was the right way to go about it. They obviously ended up beating him and the main villain in the show. And what happened was, Madara turned out to be right. 10 years had passed. There seemed to be peace between the villages. And as time went on, people once again fell into their typical camps of, oh, you've got something that I want. The ninja villagers started fighting again. I'm not up to date in the latest show, Boruto, but I'm pretty sure there's just chaos everywhere again. What I'm basically saying is that even in a show, in an anime, they depict it. Human beings just, they cannot get along. No matter what it is, whether it's racism, whether it's sexism, whether it's prejudice, whether it's classism, something always happens.
Yeah.
There probably will never, ever be a time in human history where there will be complete peace across the board, because it's just not in our nature. It's in our nature, unfortunately, to want to constantly progress technology, take over new lands, and discover new things. And in doing all of those things, unfortunately, there's a cost, and it tends to be human life. Yeah, those kids were shitty for what they were saying.
Yeah.
And their points were stupid because they would have to, I don't know where they would have come from. I have no idea. But yeah, it's crazy.
I blame the parents.
Yeah, me too.